take you back to that story where the case of Pastor Timothy Omotoso has been postponed to Wednesday. We cross live to our reporter, Jayed-Leigh Paulse. Jayed, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. Now, you have the defense advocate, Peter Doberman, pointing out on the discrepancies between the indictment and the authorized certificate. Talk to us about that issue.
Well, Palesa, we are still on the centralization of that certificate. You would know if you've been following the trial that the Peter Doberman actually wants the case not to be heard in Port Elizabeth. He's saying that the Port Elizabeth High Court does not have the jurisdiction to hear all the charges, all the offences of Timothy Omotoso and his co-accused Zukisa Sito and Lusando Solani. So really saying that other courts across the country should actually hear the respective, counts on the court rolls. But also saying there that the indictment as well as that certificate did not speak, they did not corroborate, saying that the then former NPA head Sean Abrams did not actually cite all the offences that Timothy Omotoso and those two co-accused are charged with. Now, throughout the trial, we've seen several delays, and we've seen the Jesus Dominion International Church members outside protesting and affirming their position and support for Timothy Omotoso. And on the other side of the road, we've also seen the ANC Women's League come out and stand in solidarity with the victims. And it has been very difficult for media to also speak to some of the congregants, but I do have with me a senior pastor of the Jesus Dominion International Church, Mr. Asagu Chuks, and he's going to be talking to us on SABC News with regards to how the Jesus Dominion International Church members feel about the trial. Mr. Zagu, first and foremost, thank you so much for talking to the SABC. I want to ask you, obviously, the trial has been in the limelight. We've seen several people coming out, the public, the general public also, making their voices heard with regards to what's happening in the courtroom. But outside, the JDI members stand steadfast in their support for Timothy Omotoso. Has this trial in any way tarnished the reputation of the church?
Before I begin, I want to thank viewers all over the world and believers and people that have been steadfast in the things of God. I'm encouraging them to keep on. We are told that many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him from them all. So based on what is happening is one of the things that are written in the gospel. We know how Jesus came on earth, and we know how he followed the gospel and everything, and the persecution he faced. So it's not something we are not aware of. So the impact is quite positive, because a lot of people never knew us before. They never knew that we are church. They never knew what was happening. And when the public heard this, some of them were of the contrary based on the news they heard. Some of them followed things based on what they are hearing from here and there. But some of them have been, so serious to come to the church to find out what is really going on. And it's been a positive impact, because we are known now. People are coming to church. People are coming to see. And when they come, they receive testimonies. They get touched by the Lord, and people are being revived. So salvation is reaching people. So we've got more of positive impact, because the name is Jesus Dominion International. So Jesus is really dominating in every aspect of the church.
And these are serious allegations leveled against your pastor Timothy Omotoso, yet we've seen the church members come out in their numbers to support Timothy Omotoso. If at any reason the pastor is found to be guilty of these alleged crimes, what is the stance of the church?
Okay, you're speaking about serious circumstantial allegations. You've been following the court proceeding. Our lawyer, Mr. Doberman, told them to bring the evidence of what they've been speaking about. And they've not been able. Their response was that we don't have anything. We've provided everything and we don't have anything. So, and based on the flaws we are seeing in the case now, there are so many things happening. The authority that was given, things that were supposed to be stated according to the Constitution. So it's not following the constitutional proceeding. That is where I'm getting, a little bit, challenged about what is going on, because the government cited the different sections of the Constitution that stipulates, enumerated that this is what is supposed to be done. But they will just stand up and, we want this thing to continue. They are not telling us where it is written that things are supposed to continue like that. So the church is having their stand, because they know the men they are following. They know whom this man is. A lot of people that are speaking from afar. They are speaking from what they heard. They are speaking from what they felt. But we are the one that have been with him. We know the impact. I'm a living testimony. Every other person, all the people you saw there that are jubilating, they are jubilating in joy, knowing where they are coming from, knowing what God did for them, knowing how they were sick and they were healed, knowing how they were blind, they could see, knowing so many things. So it's not just about what people are saying, because so many of them, when you ask them, they will just say, I heard. But we are the ones that felt it. We are the ones that saw it. All the people that are talking about, we saw them when they came to the church. So it's having a positive impact. Okay, I'm
going to move away from the merits of the trial because it is sub judice. But I'm going to ask you, the general public looks at the Jesus Dominion International Church members, and we've seen them, hurling insults to the congregants. And it's mainly because they don't understand the nature and the way in which you address your pastor, Timothy Omotoso, calling him daddy, calling his wife, Tawa Omotoso, mummy. Can you just break it down? Why do the congregants call him daddy?
You know what happened? You said members of the public. There are also members of the public that understood that understand what is going on. What you must understand is that everybody is entitled to his or her own opinion. But when you ask people, do you have evidence of what you're saying? They will say, I just read from somewhere. So that is, it's just quite irrelevant of what somebody may think. If I were there, I could have said, let me just go to that church and find out what is going on there. Why is it that people are here? I say to you, the layman meaning of daddy is a father. Layman's meaning of a mommy is a mother. And you cannot call somebody daddy if the person is not a father to you, and you cannot call somebody mommy if the person is not a mother to you. The man we are calling Tim Omotoso is a father indeed. He has done a lot of things in our lives. He has made a lot of positive impact that even if there's something that we can give to him, we could have done it. But we don't have much to give than only to say, you are just a father, you've done this, you met me when I was in this, and you saved you through your gospel, through preaching, through encouragement. I'm a living testimony, through encouragement, persuasion, advice, and so many things. I'm able to come out from what I was doing before, and now I'm a pastor. That's why whenever I see him as a father who was able to take me from grass to grace, took me from oblivion to pavilion, took me from stress to stress. So people cannot, understand why they must not call this man who did all this good work in their lives a father.
Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to the SABC. That was Mr. Osagu Chooks, senior pastor of the Jesus Dominion International Church, just saying the reasoning behind they standing by Timothy Omotoso, calling him a righteous man, saying that they will continue, pledging their support, but also speaking about the impact that it has had on the church itself. Now, we do know that on Wednesday, Judge Irma Schoeman will grant her ruling on the application by the defense to seek for leave to appeal. Paulessa, it's back to you in studio.
All right, Jade, many thanks there for that update. Our reporter Jayed-Leigh Paulse reporting live from Port Elizabeth in the Eastern Cape.